right, good evening. And tonight we have another special guest on the Homestretch with Adrian Durant, welcoming USA sprinter Mike Rodgers. Welcome, Mike.
What up?
And thank you, Ashley, for joining us again to help me out here.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, keep this thing going. Stop me from being too boring. And so, Mike, the Homestretch podcast, what we're all about is talking to amazing people, high world-class athletes. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear about, what you had to overcome. Becoming the best in the world at anything is not easy, and you've been a world champion multiple times. And so I know it took a lot to get there, and you may not often get the chance to really tell your story how you want to. And so tonight, hopefully we could dig into that a little bit and hear a little bit more. So how'd you get started in track? You're from Missouri, right?
Yeah, from Missouri. I went to a small school called Berkeley High School. We had a track coach. He was pretty elite. His name was Rod Staggs. And the man used to come to like all my basketball games, all my football games, trying to recruit me to run track. But I never would come out there. Like I was like, I'm good playing basketball and football. Had my scholarship already, picked out where I was going. And then I got hurt, and I was like, I was missing out on basketball and football. So I ended up going out for the track team and ended up getting out there, and I sucked. I sucked bad.
Really?
I sucked.
So wait, you were already at the point in basketball and football where you were being scouted and recruited?
Yeah, recruited.
So what grade was it?
Okay,
grade was
I was a junior, so I was in the 11th grade.
Wow, you weren't running track at all then?
I wasn't running track at all. No,
wow.
It was no track at all. So just basketball. I was getting recruited by everybody in basketball. And football, I actually signed a letter of intent before my senior year to go to the University of Miami. And I ended up breaking my ankle at homecoming, and I missed the whole season of basketball and football down there my senior year. So it was bad. So I ended up going out for the track team because I was healthy then. And when I tell you that first year, I was out there getting smoked.
So this is outdoor. This is outdoor track.
This is outdoor track.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have indoor in Missouri. We didn't have
that's
indoor,
true.
so it was outdoor track. So I'm out there getting smoked, just running relays and getting to know the guys. Like I know one of the captains on the team was Willie Moore Jr. Pretty Willie, the guy who sings "Lay Your Body Down." He was the fastest guy on our
Pretty
team.
Willie, yeah.
Yeah, so he had the state record 10:25 and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, all these guys out here, but I was running like 11:09, 11:01. And I was like, one of the, I was just like, what am I doing out here, really, to be, So my junior year, I went to state, and I got beat pretty bad, like in everything. When I mean everything. I didn't make it to the finals. The only thing I made to the finals was the 400. I ran like 47.
400.
Hold on.
You were running the 400 too?
Hold on.
Yeah. So,
we gotta run something back. Hold on. I'm trying to calculate all of this. You're a junior, but you were so good in sports that you were signing a letter of intent to the University of Miami in football.
Yes.
And you were a star basketball player.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were just nice with it. You were athletic. Okay, it makes sense.
Athletic
and this is your junior year. Because when you're locked up in football deals with Miami by junior year, I'm like, okay, that's but you're only running 11 flat outdoor at the time.
I didn't know what I was doing on the track. I was just good at what I did in football.
What position did you play?
I played receiver and I played corner.
Yeah,
but
you should have definitely been fast.
Yeah, so I was being recruited to be a corner because I had great technique and great feet, really. Mm-hmm. So, but I ran a 4.3, 4.40.
So you just didn't know how to run 100. Yeah.
That first
100, like that
first 30 you had it, but that last 70
no
was like, I don't know.
But see, that's funny though, because that's insightful. Like you're running 4.3, but your 100 was terrible because you couldn't put it together. Yeah. And what position did you play on the basketball team?
I was a point guard and two guard. I could play both.
Okay.
So I was getting recruited to schools like Xavier and stuff like that, like private schools, not the big, D1 schools, but I was getting recruited to like the small majors to go play basketball. So.
And I'm not trying to put you out there because I'm like 5'8", so you're not that tall.
I'm not that tall, but I can shoot. But I can
shoot, you were nice with it.
The ball, and I could pass the ball, so that's what they wanted me for. So that's what it is.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay.
You probably had them hops though.
You had
to.
What?
Yeah, I said you probably had those hops for sure.
Yeah, because he was a receiver too. Had to.
I could do everything. I could do everything on the court. Yeah, they could ask me to do. They was like, man, this guy is very athletic. So, but I missed my whole senior year playing basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't even play at all.
Yeah. And that's why you was running slow too. Your ankle after coming off the ankle injury. I mean, that takes some time. You broke your ankle.
Yes, I broke it. It was done.
So you have a full scholarship to Miami, which would be a dream for most people. Break your ankle junior year, and now less attention. No one's paying attention. You're like, man, I'm gonna go out for the track team, and you're getting smoked. Okay, so that's where we at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting smoked. Like, so my junior year, like all the like fast 400-meter runners were in Missouri. You had Dominique Peterson, you had like Miles Smith, you had guys like those. I'm at state with these guys, you know. Mm-hmm. I run 47.1 and I get a distant third.
Which is still pretty good though.
Miles ran like 46.2 and Dominique Peterson ran like 45.8 in high school.
Is this your junior year?
This is my junior year. Yeah.
So you just joined the team, you get a smoked in 100, but you're running 47.1. That's actually pretty fast.
I was great. I was good. 400 meter running. That was my thing, you know. Yeah. That and somewhat the 200. You know, I ran like 21, I think 4 my junior year or something like that. So I was decent.
You ain't getting completely smoked.
Yeah, but they was just that much faster than me my junior year because they had been running summer track and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to run summer track. So that summer, I ran summer track, and I ended up getting coached by my uncle, Jonathan Rodgers, and this guy named Sean. I can't remember Sean's last name, but he was the coach at Tennessee State University at the time. Mm-hmm. So they was like, man, you can run the 100, man. I say, man, I can't run the 100. They say, if you run it that fast at the 200 and 400, you can run 100. So that summer, I was at like AAU regionals. I ran like 10:43, like. And I was like,
11:0 to 10:43.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. You know? So I ran it like the whole summer. I was running like 10:4, 10:4, 10:4, 10:4, 21:01, 21:1, just over and over and over. I didn't even run the 400. I ran a 4x4, and that was about it in the relays. And then I came back my senior year. I said, I'm gonna take track seriously. So at state, I won the 100. The 200 and the 400 my senior year, and the 4x4. The first person ever to do it in Missouri state history. First person.
The 1 and 4 are back to back.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So you were strong as hell. But what was it about track that you was just like, I'm gonna actually take this thing seriously?
Well, I was like, man, it was kind of fun. It was like a family atmosphere. You know, everybody in basketball, I'm gonna get mine today. I'm gonna go ball out. It didn't matter if you won or lost, but track is more of like a family. You having a good time, and it was just fun for me. Like that's how the coach had made it. So, I mean, I liked it a lot in high school. And that's how I carried over into now. You know, I would have loved to go play football. I really feel like I could have made it. A lot of my friends made it that were in Missouri, that went to different schools. They made it to the NFL. So it's like, to see them in the NFL, I'm like, man, I was way better than them. And then to see them, like one of them have a Super Bowl ring. His name's Lawrence Maroney. He's the running back for the Patriots.
Oh.
He got 2 rings. So it's like, to see him get a ring, you'd be like, man, I was better than this dude in high school.
Well,
I mean, your story's not over, so you never know what you can do. I'm pretty sure at 10:0, you can still run for at least 4.2 in the 40.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. And not only that, I didn't go over his stats in the beginning because I forgot again, but we're going to go over this real quick because you made out pretty well in track and field. Okay. We have 2010, 2011 U.S. indoor champ in the 60, and your PR in the 60 is 6:48, which is crazy. Runner-up in the 60 at the World Indoor Champs in Doha 2010, 2014 U.S. Outdoor Champion in 100, 2015 and 27 World Relay Champion on the 4x1, runner-up on the 4x1 in the 2017 World Championship in London. You were a 100-meter champ at the 2019 Pan Am Games and 2019 World Champ in the 4x1. And your PR in the 100 is 985. So, you know, I'd say your track resume is pretty stacked, and that's just half of it. You had a bunch of stuff I couldn't be reading it all off.
But those are the important ones. And 9.8, you could definitely run like 4.1, 4.2 in the 40.
Yeah, he'd kill those football guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, 648 and 60, you're going to be faster than all the football guys, period.
It's always up for discussion who are faster, the football guys or us. But a couple of them said they were coming to, trials and nationals this year. So we'll see.
Man,
that would be very, very interesting, low key.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. I know they'll get smoked.
Tyreek Hill's coming for sure, but
yeah,
you got to get a qualifying time first.
Yeah.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, there's a lot of football dudes who are fast. And when I was at South Carolina, dudes will come out from LSU football and drop a 660, 659, but now we're talking US champs. We're talking with the pros. Y'all guys running 6'4s. You're not coming off the football field beating guys running 640.
It was one football player I could say that came out and rumbled with us, and that was Trenton Holiday. I
raced him when I was at South Carolina. I raced him at SECs in the 60. And he actually beat him. And I gotta claim my two little victories, but I consider him a track guy too, though, because he was straight on the track team.
So
but and it's funny because we've actually met before, and I was kind of telling you early on, I've met you before. The first time we met was going to Valencia.
Oh yeah.
You had just made the U.S. team. That might have been your first team.
That was my first team ever.
I remember it was your first team, and I was running.
Coach, no nothing.
Yeah, I know. And I was there representing the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I don't know if we were on a shuttle to the track or something. But we were having a conversation, man. You were telling me about, your JUCO career and whatnot. And I was like, and I think you did well at that. I mean, you got third or fourth at that?
Yeah, I got fourth. I really felt like I should have won, but my coach didn't come with me. I didn't know nothing about that.
You were by yourself, man. I remember it, man. And we actually met again in an airport. I was taking my team somewhere, and I just bumped into you. So it's funny. The track world is actually kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember me, bro. You blue check folks, though.
Blue check folks. I ain't bougie, though.
Nah, I'm messing with you, man. And actually, I was going to bring this up later, but there was some meet that I was at. It might have been the World Indoor Champs in Portland, because I coach, and you've actually raced the guy that I coached, Bruno from Spain.
Bruno, yeah.
Yeah, I've been coaching.
Cool dude.
I've coached it for like 9 years now since he went to Cornell. And so I was there with him, and I feel like you were DJing at some kind of event.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you DJ.
It was a private event. And they had brought Wale in. And I didn't have none of my DJ stuff. I just had my computer. So they rented me this controller and everything. They were like, "Oh, you're DJing this private party that night. We're having a special guest." I didn't even know Wale was going to be there, to be honest.
Yeah, nah.
Wale ended up being there. I was like, "Oh, Wale had a whole concert here, and nobody knew."
But wait, before we get into the DJ and everybody thinking about Mike off the track, let's talk a little bit about. So Valencia was which event? That was
World Indoors. So what was it? 2000? Was it 2008? I think.
It was. Yeah.
So World Indoors, that's your first team making it from being a U.S. champ. What was that experience like? Because it was your first time. You're in a new atmosphere. It's different from being on the basketball court and also on the football field. So talk about that experience.
Well, to be honest, like before I even got an agent and stuff like that, I didn't even think that it was gonna go that far. I was like, you know what? It was Nationals 2007, I believe, and I was in college. I was at Oklahoma Baptist, and I ran 100. And I ran 10-10 in the semis. No, 10-10 in the quarterfinals, and I made it to the semis. But I remember Justin Gatlin false starting in the semis, and they put him back in the race for my semi, and him and a bunch of other people, they was getting into it. I think Bernard Williams was ready to fight him or something like that. Whatever happened at Nationals or whatever. So I ended up running the same time, but I didn't make the final. So this is where I met my coach. So I'm like, all right, man, forget it, man. I got a good job. I'm going back to I was actually the manager at Foot Locker in Oklahoma, in Shawnee. So I was like, man, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to work. I'm going to get me a job, and I'm just finish school, whatever. I wasn't even thinking about track. I'm like, these guys running 9.7, and I'm running 10.1. What am I going to do? So I met my coach, Daryl Woodson, actually at the hot dog. I was getting some nachos, and he's like, hey, man, what's up, man? You know, I feel like you can run a lot faster, man, if I coach you. I'm like, you know how many times I done heard this? Like, you know, y'all know how coaches are. Oh, man, I can coach you to this. He's like, man, you can move in my house. I just moved to, you know what I'm saying? I just moved to Austin or whatever. And I was like, all right. I said, who else you coach? He said, oh, Bianca Knight. I don't know who the hell Bianca Knight is because I wasn't really into track like that, you know? So it was like, all right, man, I'll think about it. So we had a rookie camp in Cancun, true story. Get down there, having a good time with other track athletes, you know, meeting everybody else who's, you know, graduating NCAAs. You know, we really didn't race the NCAA school, but we went to LSU, Drake, and a few big meets at the school I was at. So I got a chance to, you know, meet some of them and meet some of the, like the main guys in NCAA. So long story short, had a good time at the rookie camp. Leaving, my flight gets canceled. Mind you, you know, I'm a broke college student. My paycheck is at Foot Locker. My parents didn't really have money like that, so it was like I had to make a decision. And the lady was like, well, I could put you on a one-way to Austin, or you can stay here 5 days in Cancun and try to, you know, catch a flight. So I end up like not going back to school, leaving everything, like my campus house, all that, going down here, go train with this man. One duffel bag, no cell phone, no nothing. Like I just took a risk.
You just took the chance, the risk.
I took the chance, you know, and I.
But it was sort of like a sign.
It was set up.
You had a one-way ticket to Austin, or you could stay there 5 days. So
yeah,
it was like I was giving you some sort of sign.
Yeah,
some sort of sign.
Hey,
you interrupting us, girl. So yeah, got to Austin and, you know, met him. You know, we got there and I was like, man, look, let's go to work. I didn't even tell my parents where I was. Like this was the wildest decision, off the wall decision that I made. So got to training with this man. I'm talking about he trained me. I've never did some of the stuff ever in life that he had me doing. And I learned so much about the event. And then when I started to race and started to run, I ran 6'5", 51 the first time I stepped on the track with training with this man. 6:51 Milrose Games. I beat Terrence Tramiel. I beat all the big names. This is Milrose Games now. First track meet ever. I'm like,
yeah, and Terrence was dropping some I think Terrence ran 6:47 or something.
He ran 47, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm beating
Terrence
these
was
guys
quick.
the whole indoor circuit.
Yeah.
No agent, no nothing. It's just because D2 was doing, you know, my coach Daryl Woodson was doing the background work, you know, and the agent he was working with was putting me in the meets. And then the agent finally showed up. I think it was like after Tyson Invitational. That was the first indoor race I lost that whole season. And he was like, I want to take you to Europe. I was like, Europe? I don't got no passport. Like, none of that. So he took a chance on me. Mind you, I went to the very first meet I ran at this year indoors in Metz, France. I met the meet director. He's like, so many years ago, you came and your career launched from here. And I told TC this year I wanted to just do those meets that I started when I first started competing. And I ran well at every meet indoors this year, if everybody pays attention. I ran 6:52 this year, and I didn't even race that much. And I was only on the track 3 weeks. So it was like, oh, I already know what type of season it's going to be this year. But yeah, man, it was crazy.
But that's special. You going back to where you just started it all off for your first European tour. So I know that nostalgia is real.
Yeah, it was super real. And I got there, I'm like, man, because the meet director was like, oh, you don't have to ride the bus. You ride in my car. So I get in his car, and he's telling me the story of how he allowed me to come and race in his meet. He's like, I didn't even know you. I thought you were a scrub. I thought TC is my agent, Tony Kimmel. He said, I thought you were terrible. I didn't know. Man, I ran 6:54 fresh off the plane 2 times in the span of 30 minutes. And he was like, oh, this kid's going to be special. And he said that in the car. He said, you're still running now. Maybe new next Kim Collins. That's what he said. Maybe next Kim Collins. I said, I ain't going that long. Kim went to like 40. I was like, I don't think I'm going.
I know that. Yeah, Kim's.
Yeah, Kim could still actually bust it out if he wanted to. I'm pretty sure.
Kim probably is still in shape.
Kim keep acting like he's too busy to come on the podcast. We're gonna have to.
We're gonna get him on the podcast.
I know. Stop playing around, man. What I love about your story, man, is that it's like all the pieces that it's just. Coach was there and he believed in you, and you took the risk. You took the risk, you know, and it could have been a failure, a disaster, but you went in there confident. It was like, you know what, I'm going all in. And that's, you know, that's what it takes, really. That's what it takes. And a lot of people would have avoided that risk and went for the safe route.
When I tell you it was a risk, it was a risk. I didn't have a phone. I
Yeah.
didn't have no clothes, no car, no
Yeah.
nothing. I bought my first cell phone at Boston indoor games at the meet. That's when I got my first cell phone. Coach will tell you to this day. He said, "Man, that dude went got him a phone."
Yeah.
That got me a phone. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's
Yeah,
the first
nobody
thing I
would
bought.
never have known that either, because it's just like you popped on the scene and it was just like running 6'5", not knowing that the whole entire time you didn't have a cell phone, you didn't have had no clothes,
No
and
phone,
you just like
no car,
went to this
no
man's house
clothes.
on a whim.
And I'm
Yeah.
staying with Coach, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's
That's
staying with
how
Coach.
broke I was.
Yeah, but you went hard. You went all in, and you ended up, you know, look what happened. So,
Yeah,
and that's what it takes. It takes sacrifice. It takes risk, and you know, determination. I love it. That's what it's all about.
Yep. So being on the U.S. team, the hardest team to be on. Sometimes when that court plays, I always remember the commercial of the toaster, and it's like all of them basically came up at the same time, but that court one ain't going. So how do you mentally prepare yourself to going into those trials when you know that you are facing a stacked roster of people?
Man, let me tell y'all, the first team that I didn't make was the first time that it was the year before I won nationals in 2009. And when I tell you, I was so down in the dumps. But my first real Olympic trials was like my first trials as a pro. I got whooped. I ran 10:01 and got 7th.
Yeah.
My first Olympic trials. 10:01 and got 7th.
Yeah.
And I beat Xavier Carter and I beat Wallace Spearman. I got 6, yeah. So them the only 2 people I beat. But I got beat by a high schooler. I got beat by 4 people that was NCAA. Jeff Zips beat me. Yeah, he beat me that day. And it was a lot of guys that beat me. And you know, I'm in the back bawling, like crying, like, man, these dudes, man, da-da-da-da. But I didn't put the work in that I should be putting in. Like, I was just, I didn't run the 200s. I didn't run the 4x4s. I never was serious in the weight room. It was just like, okay, next year I'm gonna do everything.
Wait.
None of them gonna beat me next year.
You didn't run the 4x4s? The what's it?
4x4.
The 4, yes. The 4x4, yes.
4x4, yes, the 4x4. I didn't
Thank
do
you.
the longer stuff.
Lord, you're gonna give this man so much ammo when he goes to practice.
Listen, I've been preaching this thing for so long. I'm like, I don't care what event you run. You run 100, run the 4. Every 100 runner you see who's fast can run a 44. It's math.
I split 44-3 in college.
Yeah, exactly. Point Gatlin split 40 at NCAA's 44 low. They all can. It's, you know, all these 100 folks want to be 100 runners and out there running 48, 49. You're not gonna get a plateau.
It's not going to, yeah. So that next year, I was on my Grizzly. When I mean I was on my Grizzly, I was on my Grizzly. And I was whooping everybody in sight.
We don't have subtitles, so tell us what Grizzly means.
Like, I was on my grind. I was going to the weight room. I was doing whatever, eating right. I was doing everything. Everything I could do, I was doing it. Okay?
Man, those folks listening to this better know what Grizzly mean, man. Come on.
Yeah.
It's an ironic term for hustle.
Yeah, I was hustling. Like grinding.
But you made that decision. So you made that decision to take, not only after making that risk, but you made a decision to take things serious and to actually invest in yourself.
And that took me from 10-0 to 9-9.
Woo!
9-9 consistently.
And what were the things that you had to do? Like, what are the sacrifices that you had to put in? What did you just have to focus more on?
To run 9-9, you have to train like a 200-meter runner. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. You got to put in the work. And similar, like almost like a quarter miler, but the workload to run fast, sub 10, is tough.
Is it like a barrier, that 10 flat, 10-0, 9-9 barrier?
You can run 10-0, 10 flat, all that, running 150s all day in practice. But if you want to run sub 10, 9-8, 9-7, you're going to have to run those 3s, those 250s, those repeats. Ooh. Like all day long. It's going to be a
clip right here, baby.
What I'm telling y'all, I had to go back to that this year because, you know, I was like, all right, coach, I'm running this, and this, but I don't feel like I felt in 18 or 15. And coach was like, I was preserving your body for these next 2 years. So this year, I was on the grass until almost my first race. 3 weeks before my first race, I was still on grass this year. I was only on the track 3 weeks.
Yeah, and your coach said something really important, that he was trying to preserve your body for that longevity. So some people go hard, and they just think that, okay, I run 9.9 maybe this year. Am I going to be able to run 9.9 again in 10 years? So that's something that's special about Kim Collins. He was over 40, still running 9.9. And you just made another point that you have to preserve your body. And I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand because in 2015, I ran 9.9 legally 16 times, which is the world record. 16 times. Windy like 4 times. So all together 20 times I ran 9.9. When I tell you my body was broke down from 16, 17, my body didn't catch back up to be healthy in 2018. That's how bad my body was broke down.
Why? What was the reason behind so many races that year? Was it just the training plan, or was it like chasing money? Or
I think I was just on, and I was chasing a new contract, and that too. And I was trying to win the Diamond League. I was trying to win everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I cashed out. Like, I lost the Diamond League by 1 point that year. I was pissed. But Justin was running 9.7 every time he touched the track that year.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you about. Because one thing I've seen with the USA athletes, timing is hard because you have to run the Olympics to just make the team, essentially. Like, you're running, you have to run 9.8 to make the team. And then, that's so early in the year that you still have a lot of time before the World Championship or whatnot in August. But then you still want to make your money on Diamond League. So it's like you want to race. But if you race straight through to August, you're going to be done in August.
You're going to be cooked.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
Let me tell you a true story. So, 2015 Beijing, I thought I was gonna medal, and the type of shape that I was in, I was like, all right, I'm gonna medal. And when I tell you I got the semis, I'm gonna tell you this is why Gatlin lost too. We was racing each other in the semi. Remember, he ran 9.78 in the semi. I ran 9.86 into a negative 0.9. We both was on the massage table cooked before the final in Beijing. Boat was in the back looking at us, warming up. I'm talking about he had more pep in his step than I've ever seen in life. Because remember, in the semis, he stumbled. He didn't have to run it hard, but he still made it through. He's the heat winner. And we seen the lanes come out. I'm like, oh, I'm in 3. Boat was in 5. I'm in 3. Boat was in 5. And Gatlin was in 7. And we were looking at each other in the back. I was like, Gat, I am tired. Like, I am tired. Like, after running 9.8, I was tired. And then we only had like 30 minutes in between the finals. Like 30, 45 minutes. It wasn't long.
Really? Oh, that's wild.
So we seen Boat warming up. Boat had more legs than legs for that final. And I was like, oh man, we in trouble. And when I got to maybe 80, 75 meters, my body just hit a wall. I couldn't go nowhere. And I got fourth.
See, and that's real. And you still came out fourth. And what time did you run in the final?
No medal. And I ran 9.92 in the final.
Yeah.
9.93 and didn't medal. 9.93 and didn't medal.
Yeah, people don't get, when you training at that level, it's not even about training to run fast. Like, I feel like running fast is one thing, but it's not the hardest thing. I think you're training to run fast and get through rounds and do it at trials, which is what, June or something, and then have to PR in August. Like, it's so much to the recipe. Like, if it's just about running fast, you just would train, drop a time. But it's like, like you just said, y'all were fried. That's real. Yeah,
we was fried. I can't lie. I was fried.
Yeah, you run 9.8, that'll do that to you.
Fried. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna come back and do this again. But man, I was in great shape in 19 too. But at relay practice, I pulled my hamstring the first day off the plane in 19. In Doha, I think I was like more down on myself than anything because I got there, got hurt. The relay coaches got me hurt, and I never recovered.
The infamous relay coaches. Is that another issue?
It's another issue because we don't practice sticks at all. Like before, like the last couple of world championships, Olympics, have camp when we get there, and that's been a major problem. But in Doha, we actually ran a couple of meets together before, and then when we got there, we kind of already knew who we was gonna run. We just had to get there and do it. But they be trying to do all this extra stuff. See, we almost got DQ'd that first round because we trying to do new stuff. Like, Cravon was not even supposed to be on the relay. Chris Belcher was supposed to be on the anchor. The first time me and Cravon did handoffs was in the warm-up.
Yeah, see, that's reckless. And I know there's always a lot of politics.
I was just gonna say that's a lot
when
of
it comes
politics
to the relay. I feel like LaShawn told me a story once. I may be wrong, but it might have been World Juniors where it was the 4x1, and I don't know if like LaShawn got to run on the 4x1 and you didn't get to.
They left me off.
Stuff like that.
LaShawn was like, this little dude is way faster than me.
Yeah, like he told
politics for him to get 3 gold medals.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And I went to a small school, nobody knew me, so I'm just there, like, all right. All right.
Yeah, a lot of politics in track, unfortunately.
So I had a question. When you said in 2015 you were just chasing the money, you were trying to win everything. Do you think how do you weigh an actual world champion medal over like a Diamond League and, some bread in the bank?
Man, ain't nobody gonna remember the Diamond League that next year. But you got that medal. The meet director's gonna remember it. That shoe company for sure gonna remember it. And you gonna always be, you know what I'm saying, in good spirits with the meet directors. They're like, oh, he's a medalist, single room, fair yeah. So it weighs, being Diamond League champ don't weigh nowhere near as getting an individual medal.
Man, you know what I've encountered with Bruno? When we're, my philosophy was like, look, never chase the money, right? We have a training plan and let's follow that as close as we can so that you can get the result that we want. And like, it would always be people interfering. Like somebody wants him to run this meet somewhere. Someone wants him to run an entirely different event from his event. Did you run into those type of obstacles where folks are trying to like, be like, nah, you should run this instead, or this and that, like?
No, I had a pretty good team around me, like my coach and my agent. We always have a plan. We stick to it, but it'll have to be like a huge bag for us to deviate from that plan. And
that's why you have longevity.
And sometimes it don't, So we were like, all right, we're gonna run this race. And he said, this race will be an option. This race will be an option if you feel like you're not performing at optimal like you want to. And that's usually what we'll do every time. So like now it's like now. So the last 2 weekends I've just been running off events and my openers next weekend. Depending on what I run on my openers, depending on what I'm going to do these next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And now you have a long resume. You have a lot of accomplishments. What keeps you motivated? And what do you think would you end your legend? Or like, what would you see your legend as being? Like,
Look,
if I said Mike Rodgers.
I told Run Blog Run this. I told my agent. I told a lot of other athletes that were with me indoors. I'm not leaving this sport without an individual 100-meter medal. So I'm gonna get it before I retire. So I'm really dedicated to doing it. Once I do that, I'll feel like I accomplished everything that I need to accomplish. So I'm chasing that right now, like Olympic medal, individual. Chasing that this year, next year, world championship, and then if I get that, I can hang my shoes up and I can pass the torch on to my son,
Oh, you raising a speedster. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see him choosing track and field, or would you be like, listen, we could do this football thing because I want to do football?
Right now, he loves football. When I mean eat, sleep, breathe football, he loves football. And like I coach a travel team right now, flag 5-on-5 and 7-on-7, and I'm one of the coaches on his team. And stuff he doing, no 9-year-old is doing right now. Like, it's some incredible athletes on that team. But my son, he's doing some stuff that high schoolers can't do right now. So it's like seeing him do it.
And you're not just saying that.
And I'm not just saying that because, like, my dad and mom, they see him play. They like, he's way better than you was when you were 9.
Woo!
And I was good. Yeah.
Woo! Bold statements right there.
Yeah.
He's really talented, and I allowed him to run summer track. He ran 2 meets. He ran a qualifying meet where he blew out every kid in the 200. He's having him run the 100. No, four. He loves the 400. He likes to run 4x4 and relays and stuff like that. But his specialty event was the 200. The year he ran summer track. This was like 2 years ago, when he was 7, but he was running 8, 9. So first meet, he blew everybody out the water. No blocks, no nothing. Just did his thing. He got invited to ESPN Nationals. He got there and got third, and he hasn't ran a track meet since. So I know it's in him, he can do it, but I want him to have his, own legacy. I want him to do what he wants to do.
So seeing him get third, I'm pretty sure that was like crushing for him, especially after coming from blowing out the whole entire field. As a dad, and knowing that what you go through as a track athlete, what kind of message and how was that conversation with him?
So, okay, I was there. Okay, the year that I went to nationals, ran 9.8 and left, I went to his nationals. That's the reason I left nationals, to go watch him run his first major meet. So I got there, and this is what I don't want to happen with him. He gets there, and that's Mike Rodger's son. That's Mike Rodger's son. They put all this pressure on him, and he's not able to perform like he should perform. I felt like he was nervous. I felt like it was a lot on his shoulders. And the kids he were racing, they were like been running summer track since 3, 4, 5 years old. And the kids he lost to, he barely lost, but I haven't even went and taught my son what I know yet. I just letting him have fun. Yeah. And he felt like he let me down, but I had to tell him, you didn't let me down, Braylon. You did the best that you could, because you don't know what I know. You don't know what those kids know. You're only going off your talent right now. You got third just off talent. And I told him that, and he's like, you're right, Daddy, you're right. So I said, when you're ready to run track and you want Daddy to show you something, you let me know. But he just loves football right now. That's just what he loves.
And as a competitor, do you ever just kind of fluff it up for your kids? Like if they get 4th or 6th or something, or they get the participating medal? Or do you be this is not right?
My kids are like competitors. Like losing anything they doing, playing video games. Like my other son, he plays basketball. He is a floor general. He don't lose. They don't lose. He lost one game. This was his first year playing like travel basketball. They lost one game, and he talked trash all the way home on a 3-hour car ride back to Austin. Like, he was talking so much trash. Like, our coach didn't call no timeout. We didn't make no adjustments. This, and this and that. And for him to only be 6 years old, playing with 8-year-olds, and he's the same height as my 9-year-old. So I'm
like, he's about to be a monster too.
Yeah, he's gonna be something special. But he just likes basketball, and I was good in basketball when I was little, and my parents said the same thing. Amari is you when you were little playing basketball, but he's just taller. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great to see that next generation just taking on the helm and all that athleticism. That's inspiring. And now that you were, COVID, I know you were DJing, you were really lit up with the DJ thing. Every meet you were capitalizing on that extra guap and stuff.
Like DJing has come so far for me. I'm a resident at like maybe 3 clubs now here in Austin. But I get called to do weddings, private events, everything. And like, it's the money is great. I mean, I work at the Gentleman's Club too, but the money that I make, okay, I used to work 4 days a week. That's what I was doing when COVID was booming, but I was making like $3-4 grand a week, like that. And it was like, oh, I'm not gonna go run no track meets. I'm getting this per week because I had the time. Yeah. And then Nike called, was like, hey, you got to run 10 meets. I'm like, I'm not in shape. So last summer was a struggle for me because I took off after we got locked down. We were locked down for real, like no park, no gym, no nothing. Like when I got on the plane to go to Europe, coach made me go to 2 meets that I hadn't trained for. I pooped out. Get on the plane. I'm basically on the plane. Get over there. Get to Liano. Last year hadn't raced, did no training. I'm out there throwing up between races. Like I was just that out of shape. So my agent was like, "We're gonna use this summer to get in shape for this year." So what ended up happening was he made me double at every meet, and I was racing every 2 days to get in shape.
Yeah.
And by the time the end of the season came, I was in shape. So when I came back, I took my little break. I was already in shape. I was on the grass doing intervals and stuff like that. And that was my COVID season last year, just to get in shape for this year.
Mm. But what else did you learn during COVID? Because what I was getting at is that you started to make, your side hustle with DJing, but then it kind of like shut down when COVID happened. So what else have you learned about yourself during COVID?
Man, I'll tell all athletes, you better have a backup plan, some type of backup plan, because COVID taught people like, hey, you better figure out something, something. Find out what you're good at, and you need to figure it out, because what if it shuts down again? Then what you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. So what did you do?
What are you gonna do? Basically, I tried to figure out what I wanted to do besides DJing, besides running. I'm into cooking, so right now I'm in the process of opening up my food truck.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, here in Austin. It's called
Munchie's
Kitchen.
Austin has a
Munchie's
really
Kitchen,
big food truck scene.
Not only I opened up a food truck, I'm putting a kitchen in one of the clubs the residential DJ at in Toulouse downtown. So I'm putting a kitchen in there, and I'm gonna have my truck. So I'm working on that right now. Hopefully it'll be open soon. I'm truck shopping. Just got my EIN, menus, and all that stuff done like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. So I'm working towards that right now and get that up and running, because one of my friends, he started a food truck during COVID and he stayed open. And by the time COVID was done and everything started opening back up, he had enough money to build a restaurant. So he has his truck outside and he hand built his restaurant outside of the food truck.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, you're seeing that. You've seen a lot of people who did do that. COVID hit people hard, but then you look and you see a couple folks who are like, hold on now, I'm gonna go ahead and make a move. And people are doing that. I see.
You gotta save that money for that rainy day. And the rainy day came for real. Yeah. Your mom then be telling you, oh, you need to save money for the rainy day. People be hard headed. They be like, man, I'm not doing that. But that was instilled in me and my sisters, like, save your money for your rainy day, because it's gonna come, and it came.
Yeah,
it came. It hurt
hard.
But I know a lot of
people.
It changed their mindset. It's like, I'm gonna start a business because next time something like this happens, I'm not gonna be at the mercy of this virus or having to rely on stimulus checks. I need to have my own thing. So folks are like, I'm making a move.
Making a move and saving your money, and also just being innovative, finding what you like.
Yeah, so I did that, and I started a sea moss company. We and one of my best friends, so we sell Irish sea moss, purple sea moss.
Oh, you said sea moss?
All that. Yeah.
Okay, see, we're islanders, so
I am a big sea moss fan.
So everybody was like, "What is sea moss?" And when I started telling them what it did, and it boosts your immune system. Oh, we didn't think it was gonna boom like that at first, but it boomed.
Really?
It boomed. It really boomed. Yeah, it really boomed.
Of course, with COVID, they trying to find any other way to just make sure that they are surviving this virus.
I went to school with all the islanders, so I was like, if I can get my hands on some authentic moss, make this happen. And I did. So I was like, oh yeah, we good to go.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's the name of the company? You didn't tell us the name of the company.
Legacy Sea Moss. At Legacy Sea Moss on IG. Yeah. Okay. Go follow.
Go support, folks. We gotta support some Black businesses, man.
Yeah, and then well, I don't want to give away too much of your food truck, so we're gonna keep that.
Yeah. When that drops, you're gonna know it's gonna
I want to know what kind of menu you got. If you keep with the island theme, I'm all about it. Sea moss is one thing, but if you
it's gonna be called Munchie's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So the
rest is a secret. Don't give away too much.
The rest is a secret. That's all you need to know. When Munchie's Kitchen drop, it's gonna be nice.
Oh no, man, we definitely give you a shout out.
And when do you think
Yeah.
you'll be back in the DJ scene?
Right now, I'm only DJing once a week right now, but I'll be done DJing for a while, probably starting next week, because I'm going to Miramar and then I'll be traveling. So
Oh yeah, you'll be in Florida. That's what's
yeah,
up.
I'm coming down there. My opener next week, so I'm so excited for.
The 100?
And yes, the 100. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that.
So you're gonna be racing the next few weeks?
Yeah, I'm be racing. Racing actually Saturday here at PV, some relays and stuff like that in Prairie View in Houston. And then Monday I leave for Florida. So I'll be there all week training and stuff like that. And then Saturday, coming with it.
Yeah, coming with it.
Coming with
You
it.
ain't worried about traveling? You get your vaccine? I got my second shot today.
Man, look, to be honest, it's like the longer you wait, the less side effects it's gonna be because they perfecting it.
Thank you.
I'm just waiting for the right time to take it.
Man, get out of here.
Okay, so my mom is in the healthcare field. She just took hers. She put it off. And she just told all of us, hey guys, it's okay to take now. So
Well, here's the thing though. I got my shot today, and the nurse told me that younger folks have more side effects from the shots. So I was like, my mom got her shot. She was fine. She was like,
that is not true. It depends which shot you take.
I got the Moderna shot.
Moderna. See, a lot of people are not taking that. The harder the shot to get, that's the one you want to get.
I'm waiting for
Moderna's the best
for Johnson & Johnson. I'll wait.
No, you don't. That one's like 50% effective. It
is 93% effective.
Moderna's like 98.
Yeah.
I can take my chance with 7%. That's the only vaccine that didn't have any infertility side effects in the trials.
Y'all world-class athletes. You over here, superstar football, basketball. You're not gonna get sick from any vaccine.
Well, I probably won't get sick from COVID either, so I'll just wait.
I know. Honestly, I know. I don't want to say that. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna just stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll eventually take it, but just not right now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
I mean, I wasn't in a rush. I just wanted to be able to. I haven't been able to really go around my family for a while. It's been like a year, so I'm pretty annoyed by it. So.
Yeah, my mom and my stepdad, they have it. So, I mean, they've been coming down here like frequently now. So, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to get overseas to Europe?
Yeah, man. I went this indoors and no problems at all. It's just a lot of. You have to take a test every 48 hours.
Yeah.
Some countries you can't come out the room, so you gotta eat in the room and stuff like that. The best thing about Europe now, everybody has to have a single room. Everybody.
So no sharing.
No more sharing those small tiny rooms.
And you're not getting the nasty cooked food that they're cooking. You get the room service hotel good food. Remember that.
Okay, so that's a plus.
It's an upgrade.
Mm-hmm. That's an upgrade. It's a little. That's the only upside, but the downside is like the interaction that you have on the circuit and everything.
See, folks don't know the track circuit life. Y'all gotta talk about the track circuit life.
You'll get the interaction after your COVID test comes back the first day you get there. So the first day you'll be in the room. You're gonna get there late anyway. The next morning you get a COVID test. Then you'll wait for the COVID test to be slid up under your door. Once you get there, you come out. You can do whatever you want to do. You know.
Yeah.
But you can't leave the hotel. If you do, you temperature check, all that, whatever. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. But a lot of the meet directors were kind of mad. People were going to the U.S. meets for free, and they're gonna hold it against some people because you could have came to Europe, made some money, but you're going to Arkansas for free.
Yeah.
More politics.
They ain't like that. I'm trying to tell you, they ain't like that.
That's just too much, man. People don't know how complicated it is. You're trying to run and make some bread and all this political stuff.
When you got kids, you're not going nowhere for free when you got kids. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going nowhere.
Paper, man. So I haven't been, where we're at, I don't have a track season, so I've not been following as much because it's hard to watch track for me right now because I barely can. Right. We have no meets in the conference that I'm in. But what's the 100 looking like this year?
To be honest, I mean, I haven't seen anything special yet.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Texas relays had some times.
It sounds like it's wide open.
Windy though.
Okay, oh, it was windy. Okay.
Okay, 994 1.5 is basically
College boys.
No, it was Ronnie Baker ran 994, and then after that it was 1010. That was my ex-training partner Bryce. So that's 1.5 win. That's
you like
10-1 right now. That's nothing to be
concerned about.
But I feel like the 200 has came back up like it's supposed to be.
I agree.
Now. That's the event right now everybody's watching. That kid just ran 1981.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe
and Boland's gonna be next. He's gonna run pretty close to it.
Two hands full of people right now running 2020, and is the 200 is gonna be tough to make this year too.
Are you gonna?
It was kind of watered down, and yes, I'm actually gonna run 200 on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Are you gonna compete for the 200 at the Olympic trials?
It depends how the 200 go. I got one Saturday, and I'm gonna run another one at Baylor on the 16th. Mm-hmm. Depending how those two go, depending on what I'm gonna do later.
Yeah, just have some fun. I know you do great in whatever you choose to do.
Yes, sir. Okay, last question for me. What piece of advice do you have for the folks who are listening, folks who, whether they want to become an Olympic athlete, or they're trying to start their business, or they're trying to become a chef or a DJ, folks who have goals, what advice do you have for these folks who are going through hard times, who don't see a clear path to achieving their goals, and are just running into difficulties, struggles?
Man, I'm gonna use one word. You have to be consistent in learning your craft, or learning to what you want to do, or put the work in to get the results. Because a lot of people say they want to do this and they want to do that, but if you're not putting in the effort, putting in the man hours, putting whatever you need to do to learn or to get it going, it's never gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people procrastinate. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was procrastinating on this truck, and I'm like, I'm looking at all these businesses open and all these trucks open, and they making buku money. I'm seeing them on Instagram. I'm seeing them throw day parties and Instagram and stuff like this at they trucks, and I'm like, they making all this money, and I'm at home looking crazy, and I got a whole dream right here wrote out. I got a LLC, EIN. I was like, you know what? I need to make this come reality, And when you see like your friends doing good, or you see your friends excelling and doing stuff that they said they were gonna do, you be like, man, I'm not finna sit here and be broke. I'm not finna sit here and not make money. Like, it's a lot of people, like, entrepreneurship is changing the game right now. Like, the regular 9 to 5, no disrespect to nobody, regular 9 to 5 is just not cutting it, especially for us Black people. We want to be our own bosses. Yeah. So it's like, once you learn entrepreneurship, it's like, okay, what can I do next? Mm-hmm. Whether it's breeding dogs or what, it's so much stuff to do out here. Like, it's crazy. So just be consistent and just stay on top of things, and trust me, it'll come around when it needs to come around.
Shout out to my 9 to 5 folks. Don't take it harsh, folks. I'm a 9 to 5 too.
Yeah, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like,
I do. No, you got to get your hustle on, man. I'm all with it. If you have a 9 to 5, you should be using that to facilitate your hustle. Yes. If you're in a privileged position to have that, you should be putting your energy, because at the end of the day, a job, you don't want it to be up to the whim of somebody to just, okay, I don't want you here anymore. And then you've gone from wherever you're at to zero. I would not want that to happen to me. So I'm like, yeah, you need to work on your skills.
I know people go to work some days, they be like, man, I can't stand that mother effer. Like, they be like, oh my God, I hate working with such and such. And you be like,
get out of here.
Wake up one day, I want to be my own boss, and this is how I be. Like,
yeah,
I'm not that type of person. I can't do. I've tried it. I'm like, these people tripping. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, my caveat, I think 9 to 5 for me is untraditional, because I'm not like in an office 9 to 5. I can't do that. Like, sit 9 to 5. That wouldn't work. I go to track practice, but everything else is, we could do remotely or whatnot. So it doesn't feel like the same type of schedule. But I had a regular 9 to 5 once, and it was terrible. So I'm with you. But one thing that you said, and it hit me. You said put in the work, and I know people who think, well, I'm talented, so once I try it, But at your level of track and field, everyone's talented.
Mhm.
Like when we talk about these things, everyone's talented. You get to, the US championship, you're not running into one person who doesn't have talent. So that's not what you can, that's not something to fall back on. It's like, you got to put in that effort. It's the person who's talented and works hard who's going to be the one that wins.
I'm gonna tell you, this new generation that's coming right now, there's all these high school kids and stuff that's running fast, the Justin Robinson, the kid from IMG, the Christian Colemans who came, the Noah Lyles. Like, I've sat down with these people, and these kids really study their craft. I'm talking about after the race, they on their phone watching the videos, watching the race over and over and over. Like,
that's impressive.
I didn't see that when I first went pro. Like, my generation, everybody that was in my class that came pro with me, they're no longer there. I'm the only one there.
Yeah.
I'm the only sprinter that is still signed. I've been in the game 15 years. I've seen people come and go. Talents come and go. And I'm still here. And I'm seeing the change. It's a big change. And for you to stay in the sport longer, these guys that just got their contracts NCAA and they did this NCAA, you want to keep that contract. These little kids, they hungry.
Yeah.
They see what it takes to be great. When I tell you they see what it takes to be great. We talking about a thing move. The kid Michael from Oregon, that IMG kid is probably the next Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
He probably is. The kid Terrence from LSU, nobody knew this kid ran 1964 before he got to LSU.
Jeez.
Did anybody know that? I didn't
No.
know that until the other day when I looked. He ran 1964 windy. I don't care windy or not 1964. Your body's been there.
Your body has been there, yeah.
It's been there.
Yeah.
So him
I don't
running
care if it's a
1981,
5.0.
I was like, how does little bitty dude run 1981? And then I went back and looked him up. He's been there. So I'm not going to be surprised later in the summer when this kid probably run 19.5, 19.6.
Yeah.
And on the team. I'm not going to be surprised at all.
Yeah. I think another thing that you just mentioned is that you are knowledgeable about the competition. So you're not just sitting here like, I'm Mike Rodgers. I just, you know those little youngins that's coming up. You know what they do. And you talking to them. So you like, okay, I'm going to stay motivated because I know they hungry. I'm going to stay hungry too.
When I see one of them drop something, I'm finna go see what type of person they are. I'm like, is this going to be a one-time thing or is they going to be around? And them kids I just named, they going to be around. So that make you step your game up. You know, you're like, okay, I got to stop BSing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to make the team this summer, I got to put just as much work as they putting in.
Yep.
And they putting in work. I can't lie to you. They putting in work. If you go to any of them kids' pages, all they doing is track.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that they posting it too. Like they're on social media. They're savvy with it. Like it's good for the sport.
Okay, so in 19 in Doha, I was having a conversation with one of the Nike reps. And they was like, what's so different about these kids than y'all generation? I said, these kids, they don't party. These kids still playing with toys. They like kids. Like they're kids. Like their parents are like there. Like
yeah, they're not. Yeah, like, yeah.
It's totally different. Like these kids are really into it. Like track, and that's it. Nothing else. No going to the club. No none of this. Like now when they get their money, they might venture out and do whatever. But these kids ain't got it right now, so they trying to get it.
Yeah, that's another thing. When we talked to Coach Tanja, they were talking about like the collegiate system versus pro. And when you're a collegiate, you have everyone doing everything for you. All you have to do is show up. That's all you have to do is pretty much show up. So you have somebody running your whole entire show. But when you become a pro and you're the business, then you have to change your mindset. You're more open to distractions because you want to do so much with your job. All of that can come in.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Focused.
That's the only thing I'm worried about these young kids coming out. They come to being around adults a lot sooner than they have to. They have to grow up a lot sooner. So they're getting in my house, the nice cars, the jewelry. And they like, man, I got it. They get lazy.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a few of them fall off this indoor. I hope they come back with it. You know what I'm saying? As outdoor season comes, I ain't gonna say no names, but I just hope they, try back in, get back right, because they out here running right now. They running. These youngsters is running. I can say that.
Yeah.
It's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and what you do this summer as well, man. It's been hard on everybody not having track, but track's gonna be back full force pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah,
so,
man, next week is going down in Miami. And more.
What I like to see is folks are running fast the first time they hit the track. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a crazy year, because folks are like opening up PR. I'm like, ooh. Folks are just training in the dungeon, in the lab, and then come to their first meet with a PR. I'm like, I mean,
it. Nothing against Texas Relays, but we don't count them.
You don't count the win, the 8.0 win.
We don't count none of that.
Someone stepped in front of the win gauge.
So this week on, when people start running fast, I'll be like, all right, they legit.
Is there Florida relays this year?
No. Florida relays.
Okay, because that would be
it already happened.
Really? I'm out the loop, man.
This weekend or the weekend after.
I believe. Yeah. We don't have a season, so I don't,
So next week gonna really set the bar for like pro athletes next weekend. Yeah.
We're gonna be following, man. How can our listeners track you now? How can they follow you online? How can they support? How are they gonna find out about the food truck?
At Rodgerdat 100 RODGERDAT 100. That's my athlete page. My DJ page is at DJ Rodgerdat. And at Legacy CMOS.
Oh yeah.
On IG and all platforms. So Munchie's Kitchen coming soon. I'll drop that IG soon, but it'll be a couple months. But we'll have it together.
Yeah, and congrats on everything that you've done so far and everything that is about to come.
Yes,
all
sir.
the blessings towards you and the positive energy. Hopefully I'll be out there next weekend so I can see this weakness.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my thing next week. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Good luck.
Man, thanks for having me on the show.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully we can talk again.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk
follow up. We gotta do the follow up. Hopefully,
exactly. When you get that goal, man, we gotta get you back on here flashing it like, yo, told y'all what I was gonna do.
I told y'all.
I thought I was playing.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Mike. Until next time. Appreciate it, man.